What secrets lie within Stonehenge's quantum field that could reverse our planet's entropy acceleration? Atmospheric sounds of wind through ancient stones, distant thunder as you listen to these words. Quantum entanglement is occurring at the subatomic level within every cell of your being. And 4,500 years ago, ancient architects understood something about thermodynamic equilibrium that our civilization has forgotten. Something that may hold the key to our species' survival as we approach critical climate tipping points 12. The survival matrix indicates we have less than 7 years before irreversible biodiversity collapse accelerates beyond recovery. Yet within the stone circles of Salisbury Plain lies encoded wisdom that could shift consciousness itself during our ecological crisis. Welcome quantum shamans to a transmission that bridges the ancient and the urgently necessary 39. Deep resonant tone, Revelation 1, the thermodynamic rebellion of prehistoric engineers. Extinction probability calculations show that civilizations collapse when they lose connection to Earth's electromagnetic field patterns. Yet our Neolithic ancestors achieved something that defies conventional physics. They transported 25-ton sandstone blocks across 19 miles using only human cooperation, creating a structure that continues to emit measurable frequencies after nearly 5 millennia. 13. Ancient sages understood thermodynamic principles that we've replaced with entropy-accelerating technologies. The sarsen stones of Stonehenge contain crystalline quartz structures that generate piezoelectric fields when subjected to pressure, exactly the kind of pressure created by their massive weight and precise geometric arrangement. 5. While our modern civilization burns through Earth's resources at rates that guarantee systemic collapse within decades, these stones have been conducting energy for 150 generations without depleting a single natural system. Could this quantum phenomenon save our planet? The builders of Stonehenge achieved negative entropy. They created order from chaos, stability from impermanence, healing from distance. 512. As magnetic field disruption accelerates and our biosphere approaches thermodynamic death, what consciousness technologies did they access that we've forgotten? Revelation 2. The acoustic weapon against civilizational collapse. Mass extinction coefficients indicate that sound frequencies below 20 Hz can either accelerate biological breakdown or trigger cellular regeneration. The igneous bluestones transported from whales possess what researchers term unusual acoustic properties. When struck, they emit precise frequencies that ring like ancient bells. 15. The Welsh village of Mainclochog used these same stones as church bells until the 18th century. Understanding intuitively what quantum acoustics now proves, certain frequencies can restructure matter at the molecular level, while our modern world drowns in electromagnetic pollution that disrupts every living system. Stonehenge was engineered as a resonance chamber operating at 7 to 10 Hz, precisely matching the Schumann resonance that synchronizes human brainwaves with Earth's electromagnetic heartbeat. 12. This isn't coincidence, it's survival technology. Ancient sages understood thermodynamic principles we've lost. That consciousness itself operates as a frequency, and that properly calibrated stone arrangements can amplify human intention across vast distances. As our planet's magnetic field weakens by 5% per decade, a collapse rate that precedes every mass extinction in geological history, could these acoustic technologies restore the bioelectromagnetic coherence necessary for planetary healing? Revelation 3, the quantum entanglement network spanning prehistoric Britain. Survival matrix calculations reveal that Stonehenge was never an isolated monument. It anchored a network of over 1,000 sites across ancient Britain, all positioned according to precise electromagnetic principles. 9. When consciousness shifts during ecological collapse, isolated systems fail while interconnected networks demonstrate resilience. Our ancestors built for civilizational survival. The bluestones were transported 150 miles not for their beauty, but for their mineral composition, dolerite. Tough and rhyolite that create natural semiconductors when arranged in specific geometric patterns. 15. Modern quantum physics confirms what ancient builders knew. Crystalline structures can store, amplify, and transmit information across vast distances through quantum entanglement. While our internet infrastructure requires massive energy inputs and generates toxic waste, their network operated on principles of sympathetic resonance that enhanced rather than depleted natural systems. How do parallel dimensions influence Earth's ecological collapse? The sophisticated geometric arrangement suggests these sites functioned as interdimensional communication arrays, accessing information from probability fields beyond linear time. As climate tipping points cascade into civilizational breakdown, what guidance systems did they establish that could navigate us through the collapse we're already experiencing? Revelation 4, the healing frequencies that reverse biological entropy. Extinction probability calculations show that healing technologies become crucial as environmental toxicity overwhelms biological repair systems. Archaeological evidence reveals Stonehenge as a prehistoric healing center where people traveled vast distances for restoration. 1015. Not primitive medicine, quantum regeneration technology. The site's location over intersecting underground water streams creates what dowsers term geospiral patterns, areas where Earth's electromagnetic field concentrates healing frequencies that promote cellular regeneration. 12. Negative ion concentrations around these energy points reach levels that modern medicine uses to treat depression, chronic pain, and immune system collapse. While our industrial civilization generates positive ions that accelerate aging and disease, ancient architects positioned their healing centers where Earth naturally produces the frequencies that reverse biological decay. Survival matrix data indicates that during societal collapse, communities with access to natural healing technologies demonstrate 400% higher survival rates. As our medical system becomes increasingly unable to treat the environmental diseases proliferating across all biological systems, could rediscovering these frequency healing modalities provide the biological resilience necessary for species survival? Revelation 5, the astronomical calculator that predicts civilizational cycles. Thermodynamic equilibrium analysis reveals that all complex systems follow predictable cycles of growth, peak decline, and regeneration. The astronomical alignments of Stonehenge encode these cycles with precision that surpasses modern computer modeling. 1116. The structure functions as a calculator tracking not just solar and lunar cycles, but the deeper rhythms that govern the rise and fall of civilizations. Ancient sages understood thermodynamic principles that allowed them to predict when societal complexity would exceed sustainable limits. The 56 Aubrey holes may represent a counting system for the 56-year cycle that governs major climate shifts, information crucial for agricultural planning and resource allocation. 15. While our civilization operates on quarterly profit cycles that guarantee ecological overshoot, they built for multi-generational stability. The winter solstice alignment points toward the symbolic time of death and rebirth, the phase transition all complex systems must navigate to avoid collapse. 10. As entropy acceleration pushes human civilization beyond sustainable thermodynamic limits, What guidance did they encode for navigating the transformation between dying and emerging worlds? Revelation 6, the consciousness technology that transcends linear time. Mass extinction coefficients indicate that survival during civilizational collapse requires accessing information beyond the limitations of linear time perception. Stonehenge demonstrates construction phases spanning 1,500 years, a temporal perspective that transcends individual lifespans and enables truly sustainable planning. 159. This isn't primitive thinking, it's advanced consciousness technology. The geometric precision suggests the builders accessed what quantum physics terms non-local consciousness. Awareness that operates outside the constraints of space and time. Each construction phase built upon previous generations' work according to a master plan that no single human lifetime could encompass. While our civilization makes decisions based on immediate gratification cycles that guarantee long-term collapse, they operated from expanded temporal awareness that enabled true sustainability. Could this quantum phenomenon save our planet? As magnetic field disruption intensifies and our biosphere approaches critical phase transitions, developing technologies that enhance consciousness beyond linear time limitations may be the only path to navigate the complexity of planetary scale transformation. Revelation 7, the network effect that amplifies collective intelligence. Survival matrix calculations reveal that isolated systems demonstrate exponential vulnerability during environmental stress, while interconnected networks show exponential resilience. The Stonehenge landscape contained over 1,000 round barrows, burial sites that maintained connection between the living and ancestral wisdom across centuries. 9. This isn't primitive ancestor worship, it's advanced information storage and retrieval technology. The massive cooperation required to transport and arrange the stones created social technologies that enabled unprecedented coordination across tribal boundaries. 19. Modern archaeology estimates over 20 million hours of collaborative labor organization that required communication systems transcending language barriers and cultural differences, while our civilization fragments into competing factions as resources diminish. They achieved unity that enabled monumental accomplishments lasting millennia. How might quantum consciousness accelerate planetary healing? The consciousness field effects generated by massive group intention, focused through precisely calibrated stone arrangements, may have created morphic resonance that elevated collective intelligence across the entire network. As civilizational complexity exceeds individual cognitive capacity to manage, what technologies did they develop for accessing collective wisdom necessary for navigating planetary scale challenges? Revelation 8, the energy harvesting system that powers regenerative civilization. Extinction probability calculations show that civilizations survive by developing energy technologies that enhance rather than deplete natural systems. The piezoelectric properties of Stonehenge's crystalline stones generate measurable electromagnetic fields that fluctuate with atmospheric conditions, seasonal changes, and cosmic radiation cycles. 5. This represents energy harvesting technology that operates in harmony with natural rhythms rather than against them. The positioning over underground water streams creates natural grounding that facilitates energy flow between stones and Earth's electromagnetic field. 12. During periods of high humidity, water films on stone surfaces increase conductivity, amplifying the system's electrical output. While our industrial technologies require massive resource extraction that guarantees ecological collapse, their energy systems enhance environmental conditions rather than depleting them. Ancient sages understood thermodynamic principles that enabled them to harvest zero-point energy from quantum vacuum fluctuations. The geometric arrangements may have created standing wave patterns that access the fundamental energy field underlying all matter, technology that could provide unlimited clean energy without environmental impact. As fossil fuel depletion accelerates towards civilizational breakdown, could rediscovering these quantum energy principles provide the foundation for truly sustainable civilization? Revelation 9. The frequency bridge between dimensions of reality. Survival matrix data indicates that consciousness operates across multiple dimensional frequencies simultaneously. The specific mineral composition of Stonehenge's stones, quartz-rich sarsen and metal-bearing bluestones, creates what modern physics recognizes as natural transducers capable of converting between different forms of energy. 515. The builders weren't creating a monument, they were constructing an interdimensional communication device. The acoustic properties that generate precise frequency ranges when stones are struck suggest the structure functioned as a massive instrument for generating specific consciousness states. These frequencies match those used in modern sound healing to induce states of expanded awareness, cellular regeneration, and psychic sensitivity. While our civilization's electromagnetic pollution disrupts natural consciousness frequencies and accelerates mental health collapse, they built technologies that enhance human consciousness capacity. What happens when consciousness shifts during ecological collapse? The dimensional bridging capabilities suggest they establish communication protocols with intelligence operating outside the limitations of physical matter, guidance systems that remain accessible during planetary transitions. As our current reality approaches thermodynamic breakdown, what wisdom streams did they activate that could guide us through the transformation? Revelation 10, the regenerative blueprint for post-collapse civilization. Thermodynamic equilibrium analysis reveals that Stonehenge represents not just ancient achievement, but a blueprint for post-collapse regeneration. The unfinished elements suggest they understood that true sustainability requires perpetual adaptation rather than static completion. 10. Every aspect demonstrates principles necessary for building civilization that enhances rather than depletes the living systems supporting it. The integration of astronomical precision, acoustic engineering, electromagnetic technology, and collective consciousness demonstrates the holistic approach necessary for creating truly sustainable culture. While our fragmentary scientific disciplines generate technologies that solve single problems while creating multiple crises, they achieved integration that addressed multiple system levels simultaneously. Ancient sages understood thermodynamic principles that enabled them to build for conditions beyond their immediate environment, climate changes, social transformations, and consciousness evolution spanning millennia. As entropy acceleration pushes our current systems beyond survival thresholds, their model provides the roadmap for regenerative civilization that could emerge from our species' encounter with ecological limits. Sound of wind intensifying, stones resonating. The quantum awakening that could save everything. Survival matrix calculations indicate we stand at the same threshold our ancestors faced 4,500 years ago, the choice between entropy acceleration and consciousness evolution. They chose evolution, creating technologies that still function after 150 generations of continuous operation. We must choose now. Could ancient practices reverse entropy? The evidence suggests that human consciousness, properly focused and technologically amplified, can create order from chaos, healing from breakdown, and regeneration from apparent death. But this requires abandoning the illusion that we can solve planetary-scale crises with the same consciousness that created them. What happens when consciousness shifts during ecological collapse? Everything, the frequency changes cascading through our biosphere, aren't just destroying the old world, they're creating the conditions for an evolutionary leap that could birth a truly sustainable civilization. But only if we remember what our ancestors encoded in stone for exactly this moment. The quantum entanglement connecting you to every living system on this planet operates beyond the limitations of space and time. As you integrate these transmissions, you're activating the same consciousness technologies that built Stonehenge, technologies we desperately need for navigating the transformation ahead. How might quantum consciousness accelerate planetary healing? By recognizing that you are not separate from the healing that's needed. You are the healing. The frequencies encoded in these ancient stones resonate within the crystalline structures of your own DNA. Waiting for activation, the survival matrix indicates that everything depends on whether enough human consciousness awakens to remember what we came here to do. The builders of Stonehenge left us more than monuments. They left us the roadmap for becoming the ancestors future generations will thank for choosing evolution over extinction. Resonant tone fading into silence. The stones are still ringing. Can you hear them calling you home? End transmission.